Machakos draw the attention of the House to the following. One, that the Kenya Union of Post-Primary Teachers, KUPPET, is a registered union with a mandate of representing teachers in negotiating for fair solutions to members' grievances through lawful activities, affiliations, and research for labor practices. Mr. Speaker, two, that Mwala Sub-County is geographically located in the midst of Yatta, Kithure Rural, and Booni East, all of which are hardship zones, but only Mwala has not been categorized as hardship zone, despite a recommendation made by the Sub-County Director of Teacher Service Commission, TSC, of Mwala Sub-County. That three, Kalama Sub-County, which lies between Booni West and Kilungu, that are categorized as hardship areas, is not placed in the same category, yet it has similar climatic conditions, and that while teachers in 33 public schools located in the former Kola and Mumandu zones are entitled to hardship allowance, 9 schools have been left out. 4, that, Mr. Speaker, the plight of teachers within Mwala and Kalama sub-counties is worsened by water shortage due to reliance on limited rain-harvested water, which they supplement through the purchase of unclean water scooped from the seasonal Thwake River, poor transport network due to bad roads in Machulani, Miseleni, Mutula, Kasengela, and Kwamonga areas, resulting into high transport charges by public vehicles necessitated by increased frequency of maintenance of vehicles, harsh climatic conditions leading to famine, limited telephone network and internet connectivity, hampering access to critical services, and limited access to medical care and other social amenities. 5, that, Mr. Speaker, consequently, there is inadequate teacher staffing as teachers posted to the 2 sub-counties are constantly applying for transfers. Mr. Speaker, statistics available indicate that 40 principals, 95 head teachers, and 512 teachers sought transfer from the area between January 2023 and March 2024, and that as at August 2024, Mr. Speaker, 9 secondary schools have no principals, while 11 have no deputy head teachers, which is a worrying trend. 6, that, Mr. Speaker, efforts to address the matter directly through the Teachers Service Commission have not been fruitful. 7, that, Mr. Speaker, the issues in respect of which this petition is raised are not pending before any court of law or any constitutional or legal body. Therefore, your humble petitioners pray that the National Assembly, through the Public Petitions Committee, A, engages the Teacher Service Commission to gazette Mwala and Kalama sub-counties as hardship areas in order to improve educational standards through provision of adequate teachers in the area, and B, that make any other recommendation it deems fit. And your petitioner will ever pray. Presented by self, Kawaya. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. This petition, as usual, is committed to the Public Petitions Committee. I can see the chairman, Nene Bombay, here, smiling. I hope you do justice to this particular petition. I see no interventions on it, so we move to the next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Majority Leader. Leader of Majority, Honorable Soro.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Friday, October 18th, 2024, afternoon sitting. 1. Report of the Auditor General Financial Statements of Butula Boys High School, Busia County for the year ended 30th June 2023. And 2. Report of the Auditor General and Financial Statements of Kenya European Union Partnership for the implementation of the National Strategy to counter violent extremism in Kenya for the year ended 30th June 2024, National Counterterrorism Center. I thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I beg to lay.
Thank you. Well done. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, questions and statements.
Is the member for Turkana County in the House, the Honorable Cecilian? Go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order number 44-2C, I rise to request a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Regional Development regarding the alarming crocodile attacks that have tragically resulted in the loss of lives among residents living along the shores of Lake Turkana. Honorable Speaker, the water levels of Lake Turkana have risen dramatically, submerging several areas along the shores of the lake. The affected areas include Nangitony, Ekwar, Nalukat, Ngimuriai, Nangolpus, Merier, Achukut, Elelia, Mugur, among others, in Kerio Delta Ward. As a result, residents have been displaced, forced to abandon their homes and seek refuge in makeshift shelters. Tragically, this displacement has also exposed them to deadly dangers as crocodiles, now thriving in the submerged areas, have attacked, killed 12 individuals, leaving many more injured. The displaced community now lives in a constant fear of further attacks. Honorable Speaker, the swelling of Lake Turkana has pushed these residents into areas with no access to essential services such as food, proper shelter, health care, and education. Despite the logistical capability demonstrated during elections, Mr. Speaker, where helicopters are deployed to transport election materials, these areas have been left neglected when urgent assistance as such is needed. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I seek a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Regional Development on the following. 1. The immediate and long-term interventions from relevant ministries, departments, and agencies regarding the provision of clean water, food, temporary shelters, and health care services for the affected residents. And secondly, any compensation for the families who have been injured and tragically lost their loved ones due to crocodile attacks. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Lochakapong is in the House. The chairperson of the Committee on Regional Development Authorities. This request is accordingly committed to that committee, but I can see the member for Turkana Central. This is the member for, I can't see your card. Can you press intervention?
Central.
Yes, Honorable Mother, go ahead.
For Turkana Central.
Yes.
Honorable Speaker, what is being mentioned or raised in that statement regards or happens in my constituency. And it is cutting across. It's not only about potable water, it is about the concern by KWS to go and see to it that the crocodiles are not frequently attacking people. Number 2, those who have been attacked and killed by crocodiles are also supposed to be compensated. The other issue is about schools. It cuts across education. Children have resolved to being fishermen instead of being in school because most of their schools have been submerged. It is cutting across. And when we talk about regional development only, maybe they will bring water, but children will remain outside school because their school is submerged. Again, those who are attacked by crocodiles because crocodiles have left their places, they are now living within where people are living, and their attacks are continuously happening. Honorable Speaker, it is even serious because some of these attacks, you cannot trace the bodies. Some crocodiles will eat and swallow everything. There is nothing to put as exhibit. And when you get to KWS, the report is, they say, we cannot be able to give evidence. It is very strange, and this is an emergency in itself, Honorable Speaker. And I thank Honorable Cecilia for bringing it up, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable Mbai.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I wanted to comment about the statement sought by the Honorable Member for Turkana. Mr. Speaker, we've had several petitions about wildlife and public human conflict in areas where we have wildlife, maybe the ocean or the lakes, forests. And Mr. Speaker, you know that we've listened to several stakeholders. And one of the patterns I've observed is that the civilian staff of the Ministry of Tourism are concerned and really understand the situation of the public when it comes to this, to death, also to disturbance of normal life of the people living within the areas where we have wildlife. But the uniformed staff, Mr. Speaker, so many Kenyans are suffering, and it is the uniformed staff of the KWS who are supposed to protect the public. But the uniformed staff of the KWS are more leaning, are more protective to the wildlife than the human beings around those areas. We brought several reports on issues touching on wildlife. I know the Committee of Implementation is on it, but Mr. Speaker, I believe it's time the whole House, this Parliament, Mr. Speaker, said something or pronounced itself about how KWS, the uniform staff, should treat human beings suffering from wildlife conflict. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. I'm trying to see if the Honorable Member, Honorable MBUNGE is in the House. Is there any member from that committee, the Committee on Tourism and Wildlife? Because I would like to order that this statement be processed jointly between the Committee on Regional Development Authorities and the Committee on Tourism and Wildlife, and to get back to us in 2 weeks, and to the House in 2 weeks. Next. There's a member for Malava. You got a statement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's a request for a statement regarding shooting of Ms. Salome Makanda. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security regarding the alleged shooting of Ms. Salome Makanda by a Kenya Police Service officer. Honorable Speaker, on 8th October 2024, Ms. Salome Makanda, a second-year student at Bungoma National Polytechnic of ID number 41681904, was tragically shot and killed during demonstrations by Polytechnic students. The demonstrations were sparked by grievances against the administration requesting the transfer of the principal, Ms. Rosbella Chuku, on allegations of misconduct and harassment of students. Honorable Speaker, It's against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security on the following. 1, in Roman, explain the circumstances that led to the shooting and killing of Ms. Salome Makanda as a resident of Malava constituency. 2, provide a status of the investigations into the shooting, including action taken against the police officer allegedly responsible. And 3, give a status report of measures the government has put in place to offset the hospital bills for the family of the deceased. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The chairman of the